If I were moving to Longboat Key today, I would do things very differently than most buyers do. Longboat Key is stunning. It feels like a dream with its waterfront views, sunsets over the Gulf, boating, golf, and walkability. But sometimes emotions steer the buying process. There are buyers out there who rush into the wrong property because no one slowed them down and helped them to think strategically. So today, I am going to walk you through exactly what I would do if I were relocating to Longboat Key right now, where I would focus first, what I would avoid, how I would decide between a condo and a single family home, how I would choose north versus south, and the timeline strategy I would personally follow in today's market. Some of this might be a little surprising to you. So here is where I would focus first. I would not look at houses. I would define the lifestyle first. Ask yourself these questions. Am I going to be full-time or seasonal? Do I want lock and leave simplicity? Is boating essential? Do I want proximity to St. Armand's Circle in downtown Sarasota? Do I care about golf? Do I want privacy? Because on Longboat Key, lifestyle determines location, and location determines the long-term value. The same exact property can have different values to different buyers. Now, let me explain this through a personal experience. My husband and I own a lot, and when the adjacent property became available, we saw immediately an opportunity. By acquiring it, we could incorporate a portion into our existing parcel, expanding our lot size. Now, that opportunity was rare for us. And because of that, the neighboring lot was worth more to us than it would have been to a typical buyer simply looking to build a future home. Value isn't always universal. It's often personal, strategic, and tied to a bigger vision. Now, the second thing I would analyze is the financial structure beyond just the purchase price. For condos, I would review reserves carefully. I would understand the milestone inspection report. Now in Florida, buildings at 3 stories or higher require this report. It's a signed and sealed structural inspection by a licensed engineer or architect. I would also review the Structural Integrity Reserve Study, which is also referred to as SIRS. This outlines the remaining life and the projected replacement costs of major building components. I would evaluate the overall financial health of the HOA. For single-family homes, you have items like flood zone classification, insurance costs, the age of the roof, the seawall condition if the home is waterfront, and the FEMA 50% rule implications for future renovations. Now, most buyers begin their search with beautiful listing photos. You do not want to begin this way. I would begin with looking at the numbers. Now that we've covered where I would focus, let's talk about what I would avoid. If I were moving here today, I would avoid a few common mistakes. First, I would avoid overpaying emotionally for waterfront. Some properties are still priced based on peak market expectations. Now, not all of them, but some of them are. And just because it's on the water, it doesn't mean it's positioned correctly in today's market. Second, I would not ignore HOA financials in a condo building. A special assessment can completely change the math of a purchase. Third, I would not sit on the timelines waiting for perfect timing. Yes, we're in a buyer's favorite environment in many segments, but the best properties do not last. And finally, I would not assume that North Key, Mid Key, and South Key are interchangeable, because they are not. And choosing the wrong area for your lifestyle can completely change your daily experience. And once you eliminate those mistakes, the next major decision becomes this: condo or single family. Now, if I wanted simplicity, I would strongly consider a condo because you get amenities, you get exterior maintenance handled, you get a true lock and leave lifestyle, and a predictable structure. But I would carefully evaluate items like HOA fees, rental restrictions. Now, do you plan on renting out your condo when it's not in use? Renovation limitations pertaining to the time of year that renovations are allowed. But if you wanted control and long-term flexibility, I would consider single-family homes because you gain personalization, renovation freedom, dock flexibility, and most of the time, no board approvals. But you're also going to take on things like insurance responsibility, roof and seawall maintenance, landscaping, and storm preparation. Now, when it comes to a single-family home, this decision isn't just about price, it's more about convenience. And once you decide how you want to live, condo or single family, the next decision becomes where on the key that lifestyle fits you best. This is where I see buyers make quiet mistakes. On North Longboat Key, you're going to find that village charm. It is more eclectic. It has a little bit larger lots and some redevelopment potential. It's a little more relaxed and a little more private. South Longboat Key, one of the largest communities, is Country Club Shores, which is a highly desirable boating community with canal access and excellent resale stability. You are closer to St. Armand Circle in downtown Sarasota. South Longboat Key also has more condo inventory. So, if I were relocating today, I would physically drive each section multiple times, in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, because your daily experience matters just as much as your property. And once location becomes clear, timing becomes everything. If you're thinking about relocating to Longboat Key, here is exactly what I would do from a timeline perspective. I would spend 30 to 60 days studying inventory. I would track price reductions, days on the market, which properties go pending quickly, which ones sit. I would tour in person. I would not rush, but I would also be financially ready to act when that right opportunity appears. If you're considering buying, selling, investing, or relocating to Longboat Key, I would love to be a resource for you. Every single week, I speak with people just like you trying to decide. Everything I discussed today becomes part of a meaningful decision. They impact your lifestyle, your finances, and your long-term equity. You can reach out to me directly by using any of the contact information in the description below. And if you prefer to start with just a conversation, no problem, no pressure, because that is exactly how I work. My goal is not to rush you, it's to help you make the right move. So when you're ready, I'd be honored to help guide you through the process.